Hey, Brad Squad, it's Yonathan Elias here with Sally Jimenez. Now, Sally has been a client at Spar Bernstein for over 2 decades and is here with me today to share her immigration story to the US and how, after years of struggling with her immigration status, she was able to secure green cards and eventually citizenship for her and her 3 children through Brad and Spar Bernstein. Welcome, Sally. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. Thank you
Awesome.
for having me.
Yeah, well, thanks for joining us today. So let's get into it. I want you to let everybody know where you're originally from. I know it's from the Philippines, right? Okay,
Yes.
so what part of the country are you from?
From Laguna Province.
Okay, and how long have you been in the United States?
Since 1997,
So now what made you decide to immigrate to America?
to chase the American dream, just like others. To give a better future for my children and my family, and of course for myself.
Where'd you immigrate from?
I was born in the Philippines.
Okay.
Then I went to Jordan for 17 years, and then here in America for 24 years now. I left Philippines when I was 17 in 1980.
How'd you end up in Jordan? That's kind of a different
Oh yeah.
vibe, right?
Oh well, you know Philippines. I ran away from poverty because I refused to die poor and grow old poor. And I would like to help my parents, and I would like to help all my siblings. I have 7 siblings, to educate them all and for the future of my future family.
So-
yeah, I'm a dreamer.
I love that. I love that. And your family, your siblings and all them, they were where when you came to the US?
My parents and all my siblings are in the Philippines. I left my late husband and my 3 children in Jordan.
And so you came over by yourself?
By myself, yes.
Wow. Okay. So how did you come over?
I was working at the Philippine consulate on that time, and the life was tough. Someone found me. Christian recruiter saw me at the embassy working hard, and he said, I will help you to fly now and pay later because you don't have future here. So he said, but you have to go to US while I'm processing your paper in Canada. So I stayed here in 1997 February and worked a little part-time just to have some income. And then my Canadian visa was granted. I came here just to wait for my visa, working visa from Canada. That's why I'm in America. I have agreement with my recruiter that I will wait here while they are processing my working visa in Canada. It took many months to wait. And while I'm waiting, our family friend in Jordan here recommended me to his ex-boss, which I was accepted right away. So while I'm working, and when it came, I resigned from my employer where I was working on the time. And my husband decided me to stay here. And my husband told me that why you need to go to Canada, you just stay in America and your boss will get us all. So that's the reason why I stayed here.
Speaking of your family, I'm sure that was really hard to leave them behind, right?
Very hard. I will be very emotional here, okay? So just let me talk.
Of course. Of course.
I'm sorry. It was a nightmare. The day I come here, I cry every day. I was hoping to go to Canada to shorten my wait, to reunited with them. And when my husband decided me to be here, my employer really did his job. He sponsored my husband. And he was able to obtain working visa through your firm, yeah. And while my husband was waiting his visa, I told him to resign from his job from the American embassy and go to London because it's easier there to process a visa because he was denied multiple times. And he went to London, Philippines, Spain, wherever, just to get tourist visa. And he was always denied all the time. So by the time that Brad obtained his working permit, my husband got sick in London. He reunited with blood and diagnosed of kidney cancer. So still he waited for his interview and it was not good, you know. He went home brokenhearted. He went to operation right away. Yeah, I was hope they will come right away with my children, but he died.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Without me. He begged me not to go home. Just wait for my green card so I can bring my children because my children's future comes first. He was already 3 years dead when I went home.
I'm so sorry.
I left my daughter when she was 3.5. The other one is maybe 8. And the first one, maybe 13. There are so many suffering parents. Not only parents, most of all, they're just children. But sometimes children don't understand the suffering and the pain and the loneliness of the parents. And I would like to tell the children that if your parents are away, I just want to tell the children that if your parents are away and did not care of you, it's just because parents wants to give their children a good life. But when you grow up, please don't forget your parents. Always keep in touch with them because it meant a lot to them. All parents miss their children. And I know children will not understand until they get their own family or own children. Because time is so short and we don't plan it. All parents wants to give everything to their children, even their own lives, just to make the children happy and give all the things in the world. Sometimes it's nice to let it out because it helps me emotionally.
So, when you came to America, what was life like for you when you first got here?
I fell in love in America. I just stayed 1 month and went home. And my friend encouraged me to come back here. My husband disagreed because he likes us to be together. But because of the future of the children, I was hoping that my only goal was to come here and bring them as soon as possible. But it did not happen.
Why was your husband saying, to stay here instead of going back home?
Well, we both work at the embassies. We know the risk of going home if you're overstay. You are not guaranteed if you can come back. He said, I don't need to go back because when I go home, I cannot afford to pay his hospital. And aside, he said, I cannot sleep with you and I will die early. So stay there. That's what he said.
Talking about your employer, how was your employer able to sponsor you?
At that time, I was able to be sponsored through Life Act. That's
Okay.
why I don't need to go back home to get my visa. I can adjust it here while I'm here.
Awesome. Okay. So for everybody that's watching, the Legal Immigration Family Equity Act of 2000, also known as the Life Act and as the Legal Immigration and Family Equity Act, made some changes to laws surrounding immigration for family members of United States citizens and lawful permanent residents, as well as people eligible for employment-based immigrant visas, in the direction of making it easier for family members and immigrant workers to move to and adjust status within the United States. So that's awesome that you were able to do that with your employer. How was the process bringing your children home to America?
My first son, I was able to obtain international student, so he came here. And after I get my green card, I applied for petition by myself. I was broke on that time, so I was not able to hire a lawyer. And unfortunately, I filed a wrong petition form. Instead of 6 months, it took 6 years before I got them. It was a very, very long wait. And I went to Brad, and Brad fixed them. And finally, they were able to come last March 2010. And Brad really helped me a lot.
So let's talk about, you coming to Brad and Spar and Bernstein. How did that happen? What's the story on finding the firm?
My boss who sponsored me had 2 couples who work for him in the past. And Brad, I think, is the immigration lawyer. So he brought me there. He walked me to your office personally in 1997.
Well, we're happy that you are a part of the family. So when did you actually get your green card?
2005.
And then you got your kids here 2010.
Yes, but my first one, who is international student, also Mr. Brad fixed his working permit and green card. He was in college and I lost my job, so I was not able to finance him. And he was in the brink of deportation. And I seek other firm to help me, but they charged me like crazy and I was not able to afford it. So I go back to Brad, and Brad really helped me a lot. But I advise that if you have this kind of case, always seek the professional, because if you made a mistake like me, it really take a lot of time and stress actually. So it's better to pay. And Brad is very good to give us a payment plan and no stress at all. He helped. So that's the reason why I want to share my testimony that he is amazing.
I love that. And that
Yeah.
payment plan, I'm sure helped out a lot.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, I love that. I'm so happy that that happened for you because, you know, you deserve it. Now, all you and your children are citizens now, correct?
All of us, thank God, finally.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. What did that mean to you?
It was tears and blood and sweat. A lot of pain and sorrow before I get that. I really struggled before I get that.
So now what's everybody doing now?
My daughter is a professional dental hygienist.
Uh,
She went to college here. She graduated 5 years ago, and she is now already graduated also in master degree. And my son already have two kids. The first one, 11 and 7 years old and working. And my middle son is graduated as a nurse in the Philippines and also working now here in America.
wow. So it seems that, you know, the dream that you and your late husband had for your children, it came true. It was worth it at the end. The hard work was worth it.
Mission accomplished, and the good thing is I granted the death wish of my husband. I'm proud of myself. I can say that. Thank God for Brad. Without them, I cannot make it. So,
Yeah, and Brad actually helped your brother and his wife as well.
oh yes, yes.
Oh,
After a year of my employment with him, he was able to sponsor my brother from Jordan,
mhm.
also with the wife, and they both American citizen now. Yeah, I think they came here 1998.
Oh, nice. So I do want to touch on something real quick. So who is this Superman that I heard about?
Ah, I'm 20 years widow, and God bless me a nice, amazing American guy. Tomorrow will be our 22 months
Oh,
engagement.
oh, congratulations.
Never married, amazing guy, a godly man, very decent and very respectful guy. I'm so
Oh,
blessed. Yeah, all the pain and the sadness is paid off.
you're absolutely worth it. You are so strong. And it's because of you that all of this happened, you know, for your kids. So I'm sure they really appreciate you. They won't take that for granted.
Yes.
I want to know, what is your American dream?
My American dream, I want to taste everything here. No, the American dream is to not only for my kids, but also for me. When you grow up in poverty, you always want to dream. And America is amazing. My late husband and my first son really love America so much. And because here there are lots of opportunities, everybody are, I guess there is no poor, there is no rich. It's like, I can say it's like equal here, you know,
Mhm.
unlike other places that if you are made, you are really made. But here,
Yeah.
you are like, they treat us very good, and it's really amazing. Lots of freedom, and I think this is the milk and honey. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Well, Sally, I want to say thank you so much for you sharing your story. I know it was difficult to let it out, but you're helping so many people just with your journey.
Yeah, I just have one advice to them.
Mhm.
Do not lose hope. Keep the faith. Dream big. It's free. And also, do not be discouraged if something wrong. And keep praying. Trust God and trust yourself.
Yes.
And
Amen.
be determined. Be determined and not afraid to speak up, because it really helps.
Yes.
Don't do anything bad, otherwise you'll have problem. When you live a right life and work good hard for the family, you will be fine.
Wise words, Sally. Thank you so much. And to those that are watching, if you or anyone you know needs immigration legal assistance, please call Spar and Bernstein at 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465 for a private consultation. Sally, again, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me,
Yes, of
and
course.
more power to all of you, and God bless.
God bless you too.
Life is good because God is good. Woohoo! Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go rock and roll.